Hey everyone, welcome into another round of the Hop, round 46. It's me, Steven. I'm here with my boy, Gabe. As always, we are ready to get our beer on, and this week we're drinking Industrial Arts Brewing out of New York, somewhere in New York, upstate New York-ish.
Garnerville and Beacon, New York, to be specific. But yeah, we got into. It's gonna get all industrial up in here, so we're really pumped. Hey, Steven.
Yes, sir.
Let's grab a drink.
This is a big day because it's round 46 of the Hop, and America just elected its 46th president. This is not political. This is not political at all. I'm just saying, like, between episodes 45 and 46, we decided between the 45th and 46th president. That's pretty wild.
That is pretty wild. That's pretty cool how that lined up. I think after the roller coaster of waiting, I think we could all use a drink. Legend has it that Nevada's still counting. It's a joke, but they took forever.
I could absolutely use a drink after all that, and I will say though, I had a good weekend. The Packers won, USC won, and my fantasy football team won. So
hey, perfect football week. That's dope.
That's how we like to do it.
I can't say the same for me. The Chargers, as much as I love them, are a lost cause. But hey, our jerseys look dope.
They looked great out there.
We look clean out there. We don't play clean, but we look clean out there.
That's very factual. You look great in the photos. Not
That's
in the field, but in the photos.
Whatever.
You can follow the show at the HO Podcast. That's us on Twitter and Insta. We are on Facebook. We are on YouTube. We're on wherever you listen to podcasts. Obviously, you found us somewhere, and wherever that is, you should give us a rate and review on one of those platforms if you have the time. We really do appreciate it. It helps the show. It helps us better the show for you. We're always looking at improvements, how we can make this journey just a little bit more spicier for all of us. So get out and do that. That would be great.
Let us know what breweries we should hit next. Let us know what breweries we should repeat with other choices. Let us know what other types of drinks we should choose. We are here for you. Send us an email, send us a DM, send us a text. You don't have our numbers, but maybe if you're nice, we'll give them to you. Who knows?
Let's get into some beer news.
Beer news.
First up, we are kicking things off with some pretty big news in the beer world. Atlanta's Sweetwater Brewing has been acquired by a cannabis company. What? Yeah. It's an Ontario-based company, Afria, and apparently rumors about the sale of Sweetwater, some sort of sale, have been in the pipeline for a long time in the Atlanta area. This is a $300 million deal that's expected to close in December.
Sheesh.
Sweetwater is great beer. I've had Sweetwater in Atlanta, and always a solid option.
Absolutely.
Afria has said that they have no plans to make any changes to Sweetwater's current beer lineup, and the founder of Sweetwater, Freddie Bench, will remain the company's CEO. Afria also plans to make no changes to the staff. So I don't really know what to make of this. A cannabis company coming in here to America and purchasing a brewery like this. The only thing I can say is that Afria said they are hoping to build an infrastructure within the U.S. To basically introduce its brand and also set up just a distribution channel in the hopes that recreational marijuana will be federally legalized in the near future. So they're kind of positioning themselves for that to happen, should it ever happen. And it should be noted that this last cycle of elections, several states legalized recreational marijuana, including Arizona, New Jersey, South Dakota, and Gabe, get excited.
Montana!
no people there, but you can go there and smoke a joint because it's now legal in the state of
Anyone
Montana.
who's there needs to smoke a joint because there's no one else around. Maybe they'll get into the Weedwater game like we've been seeing all over.
Yeah, very well could happen.
I mean, the dispensary brewery mix. I mean, I don't know. Maybe beer we've seen beers with hemp in it, so who knows?
Yeah, and Sweetwater has some already too. So
yeah,
Afria definitely plans to get involved in that. But the sale of Sweetwater definitely a big developing beer story that should be finalized in the next couple months. So keep an eye out.
Moving right along, we've got some expansions and distribution moves. Bell's Brewery is returning to the Virginia market. As you guys heard from last week, Bell's Brewery recently named the best beer in America for their best-selling Two-Hearted Ale. That company and many of their other selections will be available in Virginia later this month. Larry Bell, the president and founder of the brewery, says, "We are absolutely thrilled to be back, and we are really looking forward to working with our new partner in Richmond. To everyone who has kept in touch and waited patiently for our return, I say thank you and cheers." And with Treehouse Brewing, they are making moves to Cape Cod and Deerfield. The wildly popular Massachusetts brewery last week announced they're opening an outpost taproom and kitchen on Cape Cod, looking to open that in the summer of 2021. That is actually dope because I know so many people in Cape Cod that would just love this. So hats off to them for expanding in such a great place. They also announced they were going to also open a new location in Deerfield, Massachusetts, that they're aiming to be operational by winter and open to the public by summer of 2021. You guys know we have yet to review them on the show, but we love Treehouse. They've got awesome beers that we've had many, many times before. These expansions are in an effort to relieve pressure off of their main facility. Their beers are definitely very, very popular. And so they are trying to get them produced more outside of the facility. And now it'll be more available for everyone to get Treehouse.
Yeah, also Treehouse doesn't distribute. So that's the thing about Treehouse is it's so popular and you have to go to the brewery to pick it up. So I'm sure that there's a lot of supply and demand issues that they're trying to alleviate with these new
damn Skippy
dope spot. And I'd rather drink it on Cape Cod if I'm being honest.
I mean, who wouldn't?
All right. Gabe, are you ready for what I'm going to go ahead and say might be the biggest news we've ever broken on the hub?
I was just about to, you took the words right out of my mouth. I am ready. Guys,
there's beer coming to Panera. And this has been long promised. It's been longer dreamed of. It's putting a song in my heart. This is a big deal. 5 Panera Bread cafes in Kansas City have started piloting beer and wine sales with the debut of Panera Tonight Beer, Wine, and Dine.
Oh my God. That's
sounds
incredible.
Sounds like a song I want to dance to.
That's what I was about to say. Like, yeah, it doesn't sound like it sounds like an event.
Yeah, they're piloting it with Napa Valley's Menage a Trois Wines and Boulevard Brewing Company, which we have featured on the show on round 7. So, first of all, that was a great episode. Go back and listen to that. Second of all, it's a Kansas City brewery, and what better brewery to feature in your Kansas City Panera Breads than Boulevard Brewing? So they're going to have beer, wine, and sparkling seltzer options from 4 p.m. to close. Offerings are including the pale ale, the unfiltered wheat beer, and the Quirk spiked and sparkling strawberry, lemon, and basil seltzer from Boulevard, as well as a number of wines from Menage a Trois. Also, this beer and wine is going to be half priced until November 17th. There's only 5 cafes doing it right now. You can look up on Panera's website where exactly they are if you are one of our listeners in Kansas City. But you can go get a half-price beer at Panera. You can get a soup and sandwich combo and a beer while you eat your Frontega chicken panini and your cup of like chicken noodle soup.
Hi, yeah, can I get chicken noodle soup and a bread bowl and a beer, please? Like,
Yes,
that just
you
doesn't, that's in
can.
a sentence I never thought I'd say.
I am so happy about this. I can't even express how exciting this is. This is the best news we've ever had on the Hop.
My God.
And it doesn't
If you
even
hate
really...
Panera, you might like it more now because they have alcohol. And they have wine. If you don't like beer, they have wine. They have wine. Wine.
Just to cap that off, beer is at Panera.
Bang! Exclamation point!
I cannot put too fine a point on that. Go ahead, Gabe.
I hope they change the logo and add a beer cannon. Moving right along, we've got beers doing good things. Ninkasi Brewing is brewing a beer to benefit the ACLU, which is the American Civil Liberties Union. They're releasing an Imperial Coffee Stout as part of it's a campaign called People Power Beer. 10% of the proceeds from the sale of the beer will be donated to the ACLU. People Power Imperial Coffee Stout is available on draft and in 32-ounce crowlers exclusively at the Ninkasi headquarters, which is in Eugene, Oregon. Oregon, as we mentioned a couple episodes ago, has been doing a lot of good things, and now they're creating beer and donating proceeds, which is great. The CEO of Ninkasi Brewing, Nigel Francisco, has quoted saying, "Ninkasi was founded on the desire to perpetuate better living and on the belief we can help others do good by using beer to bring people together. We're excited to participate in the People Power Beer campaign because we strive to put our core values into actions. People Power's mission to galvanize meaningful policy change resonates with us." And additionally, they are featuring Eugene local farmers, union coffee roasters. They say it was important for us to make this collaborative community effort. Farmers Union Coffee Roasters has been an incredible partner with us this past year. They specially roasted this coffee for our partner brew, and it's for a great cause, and it's clocking in at 8.3%. So it's a great beer, a great stout for a great cause. Get on it.
And finally, your weekly round of This Week in Gross is here, and of course it's seltzer related. Why wouldn't it be seltzer related? It's always seltzer related. I don't try to make it seltzer related, but that's just what it is. White Claw has released an iced tea, or is releasing an iced tea flavor.
Come on.
Yeah, it just seems like seltzer companies are kind of battling each other constantly for like who can come up with the next big idea, and what the next big thing will be. It's, kind of an uncharted space that is obviously growing rapidly. So, this is going to be a definite no from me. I mean, have you ever drank a twisted tea and just thought, this is fine, but it would be really better if it was just like watered down and had less flavor in it than it already does? Well, that's what you can get from Mark Anthony Brands. White Claw, hard seltzer, iced tea flavored.
I just I've had twisted tea, and all I could think of is this is not for me. I don't like this. Even when I first turned 21 and I first got into drinking, this, why? What are we doing here? You guys had the berry and the apple and the cranberry. You had the norm flavors. Now you got iced tea. How's this gonna work?
You have a good thing going. Just stick with, and let me be clear, by good, I mean good for the people that like it. Yeah. But just stick with it would be one thing if it was White Claw iced tea, but it's not. It's White Claw iced tea flavored seltzer.
No. What do we do? I don't even really like iced tea that much. I'm going to be honest with you. Now it's...
iced tea.
God.
Iced tea tastes like tea that's been watered down. And now they're going to take that watered down tea flavor.
Oh my God. They've got iced tea with strawberry. Iced tea with mango. I think that's... Oh, God.
Yuck. Welcome to This Week in Gross.
I don't think it beats out last week, but it's up there. We should rank them at some point.
All right. Let's raise our glasses.
You got a toast, Mr.
In
Man?
a solemn toast. Don't I always? Filled with mingled cream and amber, I will drain that glass again. Such hilarious visions clamber through the chamber of my brain. Quaintest thoughts, queerest fancies come to life and fade away. What care I how time advances? I am drinking ale today. And those words come to us from Edgar Allan Poe because I feel like I shit on him when he didn't have a poem short enough for Halloween. So I wanted to give him
This is your redemption
shout-out.
toast for Edgar Allan Poe.
Because Edgar Allan Poe also wrote a poem about beer, and it was short enough to fit on the show. So
Perfect.
there you go. All right, let's go to Industrial Arts Brewing out of somewhere in upstate New York. Name those town names for me again.
Garnerville and Beacon. They've got two locations. Garnerville is their main location. They're expanding to Beacon right now as we speak. Like right now, like in this very second.
I can never keep upstate New York towns straight, but okay, good to know. I am kicking things off. So in a kind of reverse of last week, I'm going to take care of the more what you'd call standard IPAs, I guess, and Gabe's gonna get weird for us. So I'm kicking things off with their Yes Farms Yes Beer. This is a hazy IPA, New England style, or as they refer to it, a Northeast IPA. I see what you did there, Industrial Arts, but you can't take the New England out of New England IPA, all right? This is part of a series of beers that the brewery has that are intended to support important causes. They have a few of them going on from the brewery. They said it couldn't be done, but this 100% New York State farm beer combines our hop fetish, with our mission to promote local agriculture. Bursting with pineapple and lemon meringue, this one is easy to reach for again and again.
Ooh. Interesting.
So we're clocking in at 6% ABV. We've got Beer Advocate at 90 and Untapped at 3.76. So I'm looking at a yellow, kind of golden yellow, very hazy beer, kind of a vibrant yellow color. SRM chart, I'd put it around a 3 or a 4. It's hazy like its name. I'd be alarmed if it wasn't hazy. I'm drinking out of a pint glass. The head was a nice sort of white ivory foam, about a half-inch thick. Stuck around a while, has disappeared, and we have some decent clinging and lacing going on in here.
Yeah, they have not quite a few, but they got a few farm beers on their website. So they looked very interesting. So I was happy you got this one.
Yeah, so the nose is very floral up front. A lot of sort of lavender, a lot of that sort of flowery earthiness. I wouldn't call it hoppy bitterness, but I'd call it sort of just a florality. Lemon is definitely present. The citrus is pretty bitter. There's some sweet there too, some pineapple and like maybe tangerine. I do get a little bit of the hops. They're not up front and center, but you can definitely detect them on the nose. What I'd put probably in the sort of mosaic or cashmere vein. I don't know exactly which hops are in here, but that is what I get off the nose. It's surprisingly tropical though. Definitely feels like I'm going to Hawaii with this one. And
nice.
It's very cold in LA, so I'll take it.
How cold is it in LA, Steven? I want the number of temperature. What is it there?
It's very, very chilly.
It's what, 50?
Yeah, it was 50 when I went running today. It was
Jesus
so cold.
Christ. My God. Whatever. Chicago had snow last week.
That's their choice. All right, in the mouth, it's definitely that floralness up front. Maybe it's a little bit watery, like what you get on the nose, like the taste follows the nose for sure, but it's sort of a watered down version of what you would expect just off the nose. definitely getting a lot of grassiness. I'm getting some straw. And I'm getting some lemon and bitter citrus. I'm not getting as much tropical flavor as I thought. Like, I don't get a lot of like pineapple in the mouth off this. I get more tangerine, lemon, maybe some orange peel, and then I get the hops. The bitterness is definitely there in the back, true to the IPA style. As for the mouthfeel, it's light-bodied. It's got a medium carbonation. It is definitely crisp. It's juicy, but it's not overly juicy. And I think that's what I'm kind of saying when I say it's not as tropical as I would expect. Like, it's not one of those juicy New England IPAs. It's got a little bit more bitter to it. It's a pretty easy drinker, and it leaves your mouth feeling pretty clean with like a little bit of lingering bitterness, but it's crushable for sure. It's like a nice clean farm beer, but all the ingredients came from New York. So that's why it's not a New England IPA. It's not a New England IPA, Gabe. It's a Northeast IPA, damn it.
Okay. He's turned to that way of thinking. Okay.
Can I just say, with regard to weather, it was like kind of windy on Sunday, and my power went out 5 times.
What?
We're just not prepared for weather. And then I thought it was me. I thought it was in my head. I was like, all right, this is weird, but maybe like, I don't know, maybe there's something weird with my power lines. I went outside for a run today, trees down all over the street. Looks like a tornado went through, but let me be clear, it didn't. It was just a little windy. Wow. Like, it was like normal fall weather.
Yeah, no, because California gets cocky. They're like, it's sunny all the time. We don't have to do anything.
We're just not prepared for it. Like, it was just so. But this beer makes me feel like it's summer again, because it does belong on a summer's eve.
Nice, interesting.
Yeah, it's very crushable. It's not a lager. This particular brewery, Industrial Arts, does a lot of IPAs. I mean, they have a lager here, a lager there, but the majority of what they do is IPAs. On to double IPAs, on to triple IPAs, and so on and so forth.
Speaking of double IPAs,
Gabe,
I have one of their state-of-the-art series. This is part of their small batch experimental series, and each one is very specific. I have a Piña Colada double IPA that when I saw it in the store, I said, oh, Industrial, here we go, state-of-the-art. And then at the very bottom, it tells you exactly what it was. I saw Piña Colada double IPA. I said, purchasing. This is a fun 8.1%. I am looking at I wouldn't say hazy, I'd say cloudy, deep orange. It looks like orange juice, honestly. It looks just like orange juice. So on the SRM chart, we're looking at like maybe like a 13-ish, 14-ish in that general sort on the tree, if you will. Beer Advocate has yet to review it. Untapped gave it a 3.89. A note from the brewery regarding their state-of-the-art series, an array of high-tech small batch experiments in beer. And for this one specifically, this 100% wheat-based banger, brewed with pineapple and toasted coconut, billows with plush tropical aromas. Dense haze delivers a slightly sweet and tart flavor. A party in every can.
I want to go to the party. Yeah, this looks solid fun. So yeah, I mean the place does a whole lot of IPAs. When you look at their website, it's just like, it's one of those places that what stands out is IPAs, but this one is on that experimental side of things. There's like a little bit of twist to it. You don't often see IPAs brewed with what I'm assuming is coconut. I typically think that's what you mean when you come up with Piña Colada. So we'll see if there's some cream, some pineapple, different things like that.
Yeah, they have different variations of their state-of-the-art series on their website, and for purchase as well. I think this was just one of their experiments. On the nose, I mean, I don't know that I'm getting pineapple specifically. I'm definitely getting the tropical fruitiness, those tropical aromas. I am getting a little coconut But yeah, I think because it smells so much like the tropicalness, it's hard to just pinpoint like that's pineapple, that's this, that's that. I feel like I'm just getting like a smoothie pretty much. How
much booze are you getting on the nose?
I was just about to say, I am smelling some hops. I feel like it's going to taste stronger than it smells, if that makes sense. I do get like, oh yeah, there's a little bit of booziness in this, but I'm not getting, it's not overpowering. It's not like, oh man, get ready. Like, I think that'll probably inevitably follow with the taste. Real quick, the nice head retention, about a centimeter thick of a pillowy white head. Lacing, there is some. It's running very quickly down the sides of the glass. It's not sticking too much. So let's just see how strong this bitch is.
Do you like Piña Coladas in the form of a beer?
And get caught in the rain. Oh, wow, that's so complex. Damn, this is a party in a can. This is a beer that you need to drink out of a coconut with a little umbrella in it. 100%.
This is revenge for last week, because last week I feel like I definitely had the more exciting beers, and now I just feel left out. Like I'm sitting. This beer's fine, but it's not that.
Suck it. No, it's pineapple. Okay, so now I can taste the pineapple. Now I can say 100% like that is pineapple. I feel like there was a little bit more coconut on the nose than there is on the taste, and I think the reason for that is because the taste is so complex and there's so many features to it that if you do get coconut, it's in the back end and it's not the star of the show, so like you kind of don't have to worry about it. It follows the nose pretty well. I would say it has slight carbonation, like not a lot, but it does taste like like this tastes like an 8.1er. So you're going to want to sip it slow if you can. But it's fruity, it's fun. There's a hint of creaminess as it goes down. I think it's just the way it was brewed. I don't know if I'm getting slightly tart. Yeah, maybe a little bit in the back end. Maybe. It's not, it's not like a sour, it's not going to like make your lips pucker. Like it's there. But the star of the show is the tropical flavors, that pineapple. It really comes forward. It's very well balanced. This, it's not too much on one end. I feel like all the flavors really complement each other. This would absolutely be one of those, like, if I'm going beer shopping and I see this on the shelf, grab a 4-pack or grab a whatever pack of that, because we need that. Put it in the cart. I don't care that we have other beer. Like, we need this in our fridge for just when we're feeling it. You're having it's a rainy day. Maybe you're watching football. I don't know. I think all beer goes with football, but this one, this one you got to drink out of a coconut with a tiny umbrella.
So when we did Collective Arts, you had a beer called the Pineapple Vanilla IPA, I think, which is what it's like all I'm thinking about right now, because that beer had vanilla in the brew. This one doesn't. But like when I imagine you drinking these beers, I'm just picturing like a creamy, like, do you get any, that's what I'm missing from the Piña Colada thing. Do you get any creaminess?
Yes.
I know there's no lactose in there. I know there's no vanilla in there.
Right. There is a little bit of that. It's when it goes down. It's when you swallow the beer that it's like it's the mouthfeel when it starts out, and then when it goes down, you get just a little bit of that creamy texture to it. And I think that's due to just the flavors and them mixing together like that. But it's not, it's not a milkshake IPA by any standard, but it is definitely. Right. There's a little bit there, and it's a complementary factor. It's like I said, it's not the star of the show, and I think that's pretty dope. I would 100% buy this again if I saw it. So I'm gonna savor this all night long.
As you should, because it's 8.1%.
Damn straight.
But I am jealous. Industrial Arts Brewing, let's talk about them for a little bit. They were founded by Jeff O'Neill. He was a home brewer and also co-founder of Ithaca Beer Company in Ithaca, New York, which is where I went to college. So I'm very familiar with them.
apparently he is also one of, if not the mastermind behind the Ithaca Flower Power IPA.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, Jeff, I'm very familiar with your work, sir. And he started homebrewing in the early 90s. He moved out west for a while and then ended up back in upstate New York, and was growing hops in his yard, which is inspiring.
Jeff is definitely one of those like beer veterans. Like he went from working brewery to brewery, beer establishment to beer establishment. And while he was working at 20 Tank Brewery in San Francisco is when he was working during the day and growing hops in his yard at night, because he just wanted to really just dive into it. And he really did 110%, which was awesome.
That's called bringing your work home with you, sir.
Exactly.
But if it's beer, it's fine. Just a quote from the brewery about their philosophy. They say, brewing is the rare art that is grounded in science and vice versa. Our fresh, expressive American beers are made for discerning drinkers within the Hudson Valley and beyond. We focus on safety, quality, consistency, and sustainability every step of the way, beginning at the farms, through our brew houses and cellars, and finally onto you and your friends and family. And for people who are not familiar with upstate New York, specifically the Hudson Valley, specifically that area, and what I'm going to throw in is the Finger Lakes and all that, it is a farm country. I think when people think of New York, obviously the first thing you think of is the city, and people forget that there's this just like...
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful landscape up there, and there's a lot of industry and towns that I've spent time in up there as well. But in the Catskill Mountains and along in the Hudson Valley and along the Finger Lakes where they make amazing wine, there's a lot of really great agriculture. It's an excellent place for somebody to have a farm. There's a lot of farming there, and to be operating a brewery like this that's so committed to sustainability. Farm to table, quality product, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and what's really cool is the name and the concept of the brewery, Industrial Arts, came out of the location where the brewery takes place. The brewery's at the Garner Arts and Industrial Center, and Jeff spun the name out of that. It's a nearly 200-year-old brick factory complex in Rockland County. The design elements grew out of the renovation of the site, combined with like their process and their, a pretty much tech forward for a small brewery. And that's where kind of the idea of industrial arts, that's where Jeff came up with it. Him and his wife, when they settled down in Hudson Valley, he knew that he wanted to be a brewer. He knew he wanted to open up a brewery. And so when they found their home, they said, let's do it right here, because he had been, moving all around a while with his wife when he was out west, and then he came back and forth and yada, yada, yada.
Yeah. They have 2 locations, as we mentioned before. Gabe, give us the names of those towns again.
Garnerville and Beacon, New York.
Garnerville and Beacon.
Yeah.
I love those. Aren't even the good ones, but like for some reason in upstate New York, everything is kill. Catskill, fish kill, wall kill. There's just a lot of kill.
There's a story there. Someone was like, we need to kill. It's like, what?
But there's these towns as well. So Garnerville was the original location, original brewery and tap room, and they're building out Beacon right now. And the pictures of the places are dope. Like, it's like,
oh yeah,
go check out their Instagram. Like, you see,
especially for the Beacon location, it looks, as you were describing earlier, it looks very farm-like. Like there's just a field in the background. Like it's that's their thing.
Wide open spaces.
The Beacon location, they want it as like a second bigger location, and they're gonna have like a beer garden, event space. Right now, it's still under construction, so they have it open to public for to-go sales, and then everything else, curbside pickup, all that fun stuff will be at the original, the OG Garnerville location.
Now I feel like we need to get Ithaca Beer Company on this show.
I mean, I'm down. Why not?
And what's funny is it hadn't crossed my mind until right now.
We've been there. We had some brews there. That was a good time.
I've been there more than once. and I've had a lot of their beer. But today is about Industrial Arts.
Damn it.
And it just goes to show, it's actually, this is a fun episode for me because living in New York and going to good beer stores in New York, you see Industrial Arts all over the place. And I don't know why, I just assumed they were out of Brooklyn. There's something about it's like the can is silver, it says industrial, and you just assume Brooklyn.
No, I get that. Yeah, I feel like Industrial is one of those companies that, unless you really know beer, I feel like not a lot of people know because of the can. They're all very specific in the design they have on each of them. But yeah, I feel like before we purchased the beer, like I was like, I've seen this like everywhere, like the wrench, the one of their, I think it's just one of their like classic IPA. I think it's just called
or something,
called wrench, but like we've had it before, and I was like, what's this? But yeah, now I see it everywhere, as with all the other breweries we feature. But
yeah, I've had a ton of Industrial Arts beers, and we'll get into what they offer at the moment. But I've had a lot of their core beers, the Metric, the Wrench, and a bunch of them. Because living in New York, when you go to like craft beer stores, this is just one that you see, and you're like, that's local. That's that's what I'm looking for. It's was one of the ones that was sold in 4-packs of 16-ounce cans before it was like really cool to do that.
Yeah.
In New York, so, but no, upstate New York, Ithaca Beer Company.
I don't know about you, but I'm ready for another fun offering.
I am ready, and I have another beer, so let's keep it rolling. So my second offering is the Power Tools IPA. Both of us are moving into their core series now, so these are beers that you can get anytime, anywhere. And I'm moving much more into the sort of West Coast style here.
Nice.
This is from the brewery. They refer to it as a fresh American IPA at its finest. Pungent aromas of citrus and pine and a crisp bitterness with a clean malt background. Power Tools can help get the job done. Can they ever? We have much more information on this beer because it is part of their core series. So malt-wise, we're working with Pils and Munich malts. And then the hop profile includes Simcoe, Citra, Chinook, and Cascade.
All the C's.
I love the Cascades. All right, so ABV, we're looking at 7.1%. Beer Advocate has it at 90 again, and Untapped has it at 3.92. SRM-wise, all right, so I'm looking at a golden beer.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Very yellow. I have it at what I would call a 6, maybe even lighter than that. Like maybe like a 5.
Very see-through.
That's what I was just going to say. It's so clear. It's very clear, and you just see like bubbles just shooting up from the bottom. Did not have a lot of head at all when I poured it. Like honestly, it was just pretty minimal, like maybe half a centimeter, if that, but it barely had that, but it's got a lot of bubbles, a lot of carbonation shooting up from the bottom. And it's like, I can see clear to my hand on the other side of this glass. Like it's just straight up, looks like a Pilsner. Like I'm honestly even surprised it's an IPA.
Oh, wow.
That's how used to the hazy IPAs we've become.
I wonder what it tastes like.
Probably.
Well, I wonder if it'll taste like an IPA.
Yeah, probably. Oh yeah. I mean, on the nose, right off the bat, you get that shoot of resin that I love so much, that piney, hoppy, bitter thing. You get the bite of the hops right into your nose. You know there's going to be hops in there. This smells like an IPA. But there's definitely some complexity to it. Definitely get some of the citrus, and look, I'm talking about what I would call sort of tropical melon, orange, and I do get some like hay or grass or something earthy behind it. Like you definitely can detect a malt background. God, I love hops. I really love hops. I'm just a big fan of hops.
You like that bite.
Can you tell? It's the name of our show. Yeah. The taste follows the nose for sure. If you bump the ABV up on this like a little bit, it would make an awesome double IPA. It's so good. It's got the hop bite right up front, and then it follows through again in the back end. Hops are the star of the show. And I think what's leading the show is the Simcoe and the Cascade. I mean, I don't get a lot of Citra hops off of this. Like sometimes when you have those IPAs that lean more towards the New England style. Citra tends to lead the show. I think this one, it's more in the background. There isn't.
Yeah, well, you said it's more West Coast style too.
Absolutely. There is a nice squeeze of citrus in there, though. There's definitely a good bit of orange juice in there. And I say orange juice specifically because it has a sweetness to it. There's a nice sort of burst of citrus, of something just a little bit more vibrant than a straight. It's not. I always go to the resin because that's like the bitterest. Like 6 Points resin is like one of the most bitter IPAs that I know of, and I fucking love it. But it's not that. This does have a nice balance to it. It's got a nice sweetness to it. It's got something to kind of take the edge off of it. In the mouth, it's medium bodied, but it's bold. It's got, like I said, the bitterness just like hits you up front, recedes for a minute for the sweetness, and then it fills the back end. But overall, this is an excellent West Coast IPA. It's true to the style. It's an easy drinker. It's not crushable. But it's not going to blow you away either. Like this is that IPA that I want in the fridge when I'm like busy or like, just I want a beer. I want a solid beer. And I don't want to think about it. Like I just want to have a beer that does what it's supposed to do. And it's not challenging me or, that's weird to say, but that's how I think about it. Like this is like it's a straight shooter. It's right down the line, and it's an excellent West Coast IPA. And I think that the reviews that I've read on Beer Advocate and Untapped and whatnot fall in line with that. I mean, the overall consensus is this is a great West Coast IPA. If you like that style, this is that. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's hard to find a flaw. And so I think it's phenomenally done. And I'm going to sit over here and enjoy this while you get drunk.
Yeah. Yeah. Snowballing off of the Core Series, as Steven mentioned, I am also drinking another Core Series choice. I have the Impact Wrench, which is their triple IPA.
Bang! Exclamation point!
So, here we go. ABV 10%. On the SRM chart, we're looking at, I got another orange juice concoction. This one is a little bit lighter than the State of the Art Series one I had, but it looks very similar. On the SRM chart, we're looking like at a 9 or a 10-ish, 11 maybe, depending on the chart, depending on the light. Beer Advocate gave it a 95. While Untapped gave it a 4.23. So it was reviewed very, very highly. No real head retention. It kind of dissipated very quickly. Not a lot of lacing against the side of the glass at all, which is fine. No problem. As I mentioned, looks just like orange juice. On the nose. Oh, I'm scared. I'm nervous. I just got chills. So remember when I was saying the Pina Colada, it doesn't really smell very strong?
Yeah. Oh, you smell it on that one. Yeah.
This smells like a 10%. This one just right away, hops just kick you in the face just right away. But it's got this, it's hoppy. It's got it's kind of grassy. It's got a little bit of sweet maltness to it, but it's also got some citrus notes, maybe some floral notes, maybe. It's got that like lemon lime zest to it, but it's got the pininess as the backbone. It smells dank as hell. I read a review that said the word dank, and I can 100% agree with that. A note from the brewery. At 10%, this is the first beer we've made to hit double digits. Mosaic, Simcoe, and Comet hops blast through a base of spelt, wheat, and oats for a full-bodied lupulin loaded flavor blast. Lupulin!
I love lupulin. It is, it's like, that's like the pellet powder. Like that's, when you see the word lupulin, what you're going to get is a lot of hoppy
bitterness. Is that
bitterness.
how you pronounce it? Lupu?
That's how I say it. I don't know if that's correct.
I was just saying lupulin, but lupulin sounds better.
Yeah, that when you see that lupulin powder, lupulin extract, anything like that, what you're going to get is that's the bitter shit. I mean, that's the shit that makes hops bitter. And holy hell are there hops in this beer. On the hot side, which means during the brew, when the beer is still hot, they put in Centennial, Chinook, and Cascade. That's going to give it the bitterness. Then on the dry side, they add Mosaic, Simcoe, Vic Secret, and Comet. That's going to give it the citrusiness and a little bit less of the bite. But you already have the bite from Centennial, Chinook, and Cascade. So
yeah. And then the malts they're using, as I mentioned, the spelt, wheat, oat, Pilsner, Munich, and Vienna malts specifically. Okay. First off, my liver's going to be working a little extra tonight, so
clear your schedule.
Shout out to my liver.
Shout out to Gabe's liver. Honestly,
shout out to Gabe's liver. I want that on a
t-shirt. That should be a sponsor of the show. We should get some liver product to sponsor the show. Shout out.
Why not?
Shout out to both our livers for dealing with this.
Hey, depending on the episode, we put them through hell. That's what I'm saying. So it's very boozy. It's definitely 10%. You definitely have to take your time sipping this. The hops are there. They are the star of the show, and they give you a nice little punch in the mouth. Not to break your jaw, but to make you feel things. But it's got those flavors. I mean, it's got the citrus, the orange, the tangerine, like those classic, but it's bitter in a sweet way, I would say. Like when you have a specific type of beer and it's very bitter, it's usually in the back end and it's usually after all the flavors. I feel like the bitterness is one of the first things you taste. Like it's not in the back end for me for this one. It's up forward with everything else, and man, it's just so complex. It's got the malt backbone to it, but at the same time, the flavors are really there. I mean, you get like maybe a little bit of peach, maybe a little bit of like grapefruit, orange, as I said, definitely.
It's funny that you say that because that's kind of how I felt about mine, and I think that's what led me to say that it would make such a great double IPA. Is like, yeah, when I took a sip, what I got was bitter first. Then I got hit with a bunch of sweet citrus and stuff, and then the bitter came back in the back of my palate and sort of like lingered afterwards.
It's very rare. I don't think I've had a beer on the show yet that I've been like, oh, bitter first. Bitter is always usually last for me. But I mean, this is like, but it's not like, okay, it's bitter. Okay, now I'm getting flavors. It's like bitter orange, bitter tangerine. But I mean that in the most positive way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Bitter is a beautiful thing.
It really is. It's much more carbonated than the other one. I mean, this is like, it's not easy to drink, but it's not, you can't chug this. You got to take your time. But it's definitely full bodied and definitely flavor blasted, as they said. It's just really well done. And this, to me, this triple is like, this is like a scientist's dream. Like this is an experiment gone right.
And it's part of their core series, which is, I mean, it's great because it means it's there to stay. And
exactly,
I will be trying it when I come to the East Coast. Like I said about Industrial Arts, they are heavy on the pale ale and India Pale Ale side of things. I mean, they have, you mentioned their Wrench, which is an IPA. They have the Pocket Wrench, which is a pale ale. They call them all Northeast. It means New England. If they say Northeast, it means New England. They do have a Pilsner. Then they have their Farm and Philanthropy series, which is where the Yes Farms beer currently is, as well as their Autumn Landscape. They have the State of the Art series that you're drinking from, which currently has some quirkier stuff in there, and then they do limited releases.
Right now we're looking at the Naked Keller Pills and the Oat New England Pale Ale for the State of the Art series. And I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe those change every so often. So I think that's why you get different things.
I mean, I see, some variety here. You see a Pils here, a Cara Pils there, a common lager here. But the vast majority of what you see on here is IPA, double IPA, pale ale, extra pale ale, wheat ale occasionally. So if you're a fan of those kinds of beers, this is a brewery you'll be into. If you're looking for sours or stouts or anything of that nature. Not yet, but they're always
Maybe
innovating,
soon.
so maybe soon.
Yeah. And they're very easy to spot. They've all got the very similar base logo. This, what would you call that? Like a honeycomb?
Yeah, lots of hexagons. Just look for hexagons.
There we go. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah,
Silver
lots of
cans,
if you
hexagons.
silver can hexagons with just the name and tools, because industrial, that's kind of their theme. They stick to the theme. Dude, Industrial Arts. Wow, we've been sitting on for a while, but this one was well done. I'm very pleased.
We have to move on because we have one last thing to do today. Are you feeling good and buzzed? Are you feeling a little drunk?
Not drunk, but I'll get there. Yeah, I'm feeling a
You're
little
moving
buzzed.
towards it? Okay, good. Because you're gonna our fun topic today is we're gonna pay tribute to the late Alex Trebek with a little round of Jeopardy.
This is Jeopardy! And now, here is the host of Jeopardy, Alex Trebek!
Thanks, Johnny. Hi, everyone. Happy to be with you once again and to watch this man, good champion, picked up 20.
First of all, very sad to hear about the passing of Alex Trebek, and that's an institution lost, and he's a great man. And we could think of no better way to pay tribute to him than to have Gabe play a little round of Jeopardy, which is making me nervous because
Yes,
it's making me nervous.
Yeah,
you could get these all wrong, and then it would just be really embarrassing for you. But
oh, great!
It's untested, but it's happening on the air.
Yeah, but definitely want to raise one up and pour one out for the late great Alex Trebek. Love him, miss him. Very sad day. So this round is for you, Alex. So here we go. I am not smart enough to ever be on this show, so this is either going to be really fun or really embarrassing.
Well, here's the deal. So the fun topic this week, Gabe, what's our favorite sport?
Cricket.
No,
so I was wrong.
It's football. And there was a video that I stumbled upon, which is easily the best Jeopardy related video I watched yesterday. And it was a round of Jeopardy that the theme was at the NFL, and the contestants did not even take a stab. I mean, they just didn't know anything about football. They just sat there, and it was Alex Trebek was making fun of them, and it was hilarious. And so
you guys suck.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna play that very same round, and I'm gonna ask you these questions.
Geez.
And you can try to answer them. So are you ready?
I guess so.
All right. Bonus points if you answer in the form of a question, as is the Jeopardy tradition, right?
Oh, of course. How else are you going to do it?
Exactly. All right. Number one, your choice. Do or don't name this play in which the quarterback runs the ball and can choose to pitch it to another back.
What is quarterback option?
Alex?
It's an option play. Ryan?
Football, 400.
I can tell you guys are big football fans.
You are correct. They were not.
Alex, giving no fucks.
It is an option play. Gabe's 1 for 1. Gabe would have won this round of Jeopardy. All right, number 2. Tom Landry perfected the shotgun formation with this team.
Oh, God. Tom Landry. And you know what's crazy is I heard this name the other day, I think watching football. What is Miami Dolphins?
Dallas Cowboys. Do you think we should go to commercial?
Yeah, it's the Dallas Cowboys, but that's okay. That's okay. You're still doing better than they are. Trust me.
Yeah, I got one right.
All right. Next up, number 3. By signaling for one of these, a returner can reel in a kick without fear of getting tackled.
What is a fair catch?
Fair catch. 2 clues left, Ryan.
Well done, Gabe.
Yo, I'm crushing it right now.
Number 4.
Also, I'm playing like a drinking game with myself. Every time I get one right, I take a sip.
Normally, isn't it when you get one right, when you get one wrong, you take a sip?
I got to be honest, I've been sipping regardless, so.
All right, number 4. These penalties are simultaneous violations by the offense and defense that cancel each other out?
What is offsides?
And they are called offsetting penalties.
We'll call that you getting it.
Wait, what was the answer?
It's offsetting. It's called offsetting. But
Right. Because if the defense gets one and the offense, okay.
all right, we'll go to Alex for that one, and then they're going to give us the last clue from Jeopardy itself. Here we go. Listen in.
Let's look at the $1,000 clue just for the fun of it. Jimmy?
As Minneapolis' U.S. Bank Stadium prepares to host Super Bowl 52, I'm looking at the Ring of Honor with names from this defensive line that took the Vikings to 4 Super Bowls.
If you guys ring in and get this one, I will die.
So I have to name an offensive line of the Minnesota Vikings from their Super Bowl winning season.
You have to name the defensive line of the Minnesota Vikings that took them to 4 Super Bowls, whose names are featured on the Ring of Honor at their stadium.
Are you kidding me?
Not their names, like name the group.
Damn it. You know what? This is going to be one of those answers that when I hear it, I'm going to be pissed off. Damn it. I don't know. What is the Bad Boys?
Who are the purple people eaters? We're going to take a break. I have to talk to them.
You've never heard of the Purple People Eaters?
Purple People Eaters?
Well,
that sounds funny.
You got 3 out of 5. They got none. And my favorite part of the video is that when Alex Trebek says fair catch, he literally puts his arm in the air. He's like,
he does the thing.
He's like, fair catch. He's just so pissed off that they don't know a single thing. And he's Canadian.
Yeah, it's like, he likes hockey. He shouldn't like football. Oh man, that's so funny. What does it say about you? It's like, yeah, what happened to you yesterday? I got roasted by Alex Trebek.
Doesn't it make sense though? Like you go on Jeopardy and like, of course, the one thing that like everyone in America is like, oh, I'm going to nail this category. That's the one topic that they're all like, they have no idea.
Yeah, because they're like our head has been in history and science books. We don't know what's going on.
They can tell you every treaty that's ever been signed between the U.S. and every country in the world, but they can't tell you what a fair catch is.
The purple people. What is it? Purple people eaters?
Purple people eaters. Because Minnesota's
I'm gonna get that tattooed on my body.
You better not.
DM us and tell me where I should get that tattooed on my body. I'm open to suggestions.
Anyway, guys, thank you. That was our tribute to Alex Trebek. May he rest in peace and power.
Absolutely.
And so with that, we conclude yet another round of the Hop, round 46. Check us out on Instagram. Hit us up on social media. Send us an email, all of those things that we mentioned at the top of the show. Thank you for your continued support. We appreciate it. We will be back next week for another round of drinking, as we always are.
Be kind, love each other, keep drinking good beers, and peace out.
Later.